P, what's good? Can you hear me?
Bling on the track.
What up, you guys? Can you hear me? Please let me know if I'm audible enough. Anyone that has joined, let me know if I'm audible enough so that I can set before we start. Mr. Schofield.
Bling on the track.
Damn Larry, what's up? Mr. Juwon, how you doing now? Okay, you can hear me. That's good. So we have Mr. Kola. Thank you. Thanks so much. What up, you guys? Okay, so good. Mr. Kola is going to join us in another, what's the time? In another 3 minutes. So then we just start. Thank you everyone for coming. Hope you like the instrumental. So please guys, if you have any question, you can just when we start, you can just put the question here, and then Mr. Kola will answer the question. I just hope that we can finish this conversation in another 1 hour. Flappy J, digital aficionado. Thanks for coming, brother. I mean, I have a lot of questions to ask Mr. Kola. I have a lot of questions for him. See my guy. Okay, let me see if he's here. Okay. Okay, so I have Mr. Kola here already, and we are going to start right away. I'm starting right away with Mr. Kola. So I'll just add him on, and then we start. Thank you all for coming. Let me just add him. Hello, sir.
Hello, Kwayemi. How are you today?
I'm very good. How are you, sir?
I'm very fine. Nice to be with you.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for doing it to me. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. I hope it's very clean and clear on your side.
Yes. I can see you very clear. Very clear.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. So, straight to you guys. This is Mr. Kola Olugbodi, CEO of Background Check International, and he's going to be sharing his life experiences with us. His experience in business, his experience managing people. I mean, this is Africa, right? And it's not easy. So we need to learn from people who have gone ahead of us and take lessons from their life so that we can apply into our own life, and we can shorten our journey that way. Welcome once again, sir, and thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Is your wife Oluwatoyin?
Yes, that's my wife.
Mommy, thank you for releasing that. Thank you so much. We appreciate it very much. Okay, sir. So my first question for you today is, who is Kola? I know a lot about you on the internet, your company and everything, but who is Kola Olugbodi? What aspect of your life can't you find on the internet and it is key to your growth?
All right. So who is Kola Olugbodi? Kola Olugbodi was born some 55 years ago, and Kola Olugbodi is somebody that has had challenges in his life right from the first day he came into this world, even almost until the present time. I think I'll talk more about that later. Kola Olugbodi is I will say Kola Olugbodi is a fighter. Kola Olugbodi is somebody that believes in can-do spirit so much. It's somebody that doesn't believe there's anything called impossible. He believes that until you have tried something out, that is when you can actually claim that it can be done or it cannot be done. That's the what is behind that man called Kola Olugbodi. Of course, presently he is the CEO of Background Check International, and that happens to be the first background check company in Nigeria, and I think in West, East, and North Africa. And he actually pioneered the industry in Nigeria, and that's what he has done for that's 2004. So he's done that for like 16 years now. So who is Kola Olugbodi? What else do you want to know about me?
Of course, there are quite a number of things we can find on the internet about you, but I don't want this to be too formal. You don't look like someone who has a social life to me. I might be wrong, I might be right. I don't know if you watch football. Do you support any football club? Do you have any football club that's your favorite?
I always say I've always supported Arsenal. So I say Gunners for now, not for life. I don't think I'm that too serious. I enjoy a lot of I enjoy being on social media. I really function so much on most of the social media handles. Yes, I watch good movies. I read good books, and so I'm not all that always serious.
Okay. Some people sent in questions they would like me to ask you, and those are the questions I'm going to be asking directly, and some of my questions I have for you. So someone said that how was life like for you in your 20s going to 30? Did you see yourself where you are today when you were 20, 25, 28? Did you see Kola Olugbodi where he is today?
Well, interestingly, even from maybe when I was like 8, 9, 10, I've always seen myself, I've always dreamt to be somebody that's going to be in business, somebody that's going to be controlling a lot of businesses, and that'll be calling shots and everything. That's the way I've always dreamt. Even right from when I was, even before I became a teenager, maybe 8, 9, 10. So I'd always dreamt what I think I am today from when I was a child. And I think even growing up in my 20s, that was the period I was maybe just about to leave university. Something in me had always said, don't work for anyone. You just need to be an entrepreneur or somebody that's going to go into business. Something in me had always just been so independent. So, of course, I know I'm not a conformist. I'm a non-conformist, so I don't easily see myself doing what everybody actually want to do. I just want to always do something that looks different. I don't know why. So that was how my 20s. I spent my 20s discovering my strength, so to say. Discovering the things that I think I easily excel in when I dabble into them, and those things that I know that I should not even move close to. So, so finding myself here, I won't say that it's totally by accident. I'd always seen something like this, not in this dimension, but I'd always seen myself more like a CEO, even though I didn't understand what it's all about then.
So there you have it, guys. Kola Olugbodi spent his 20s discovering his strengths and mastering his strength. So, sir, we know you today as the CEO of BCI, and that's because BCI is a successful venture already. I want to believe this is not your first time trying business. Of course, this can be the first, definitely. Yeah. So I would like to ask you that. What are some of the ventures you've gone into and failed at, pretty much, and how did you handle failure?
All right. Maybe I should tell you how I actually entered into the first venture. You know, when I finished, I served with National Population Commission. And from that time, I've told myself, I don't want to be a civil servant. I don't want to be a servant to anybody. That I was a civil servant as a copper. And interestingly, I was also retained by National Population Commission, but I told myself, I'm not going to stay long here. So I think after like 2-3 years, I moved to work in the bank. It was while I was in the bank that I had a Yoruba proverb. I've always had that proverb before then, but it was only that time that the proverb made meaning to me. It's a Yoruba proverb. Iṣẹ́ dé ọmọ aláṣẹ jẹ, owó rí ọmọ aláṣẹ là. You know, it was one of my friends that just said that proverbs in passing. And I asked him, I said, so what's the meaning of this thing? And he said, Iṣẹ́ dé ọmọ aláṣẹ jẹ means that, oh, work has come, now you can eat. Owó rí ọmọ aláṣẹ là. Business had come, now wealth has come. So in other words, if you just want to work and eat, just get a job. But if you really want to be wealthy and make it in life, then you must own a business. That's the Proverbs. So that was the proverb when the understanding came to me. And then, of course, all my always saying, I can't be a civil servant. I don't want to work for anybody. Of course, that strengthened me to, after a lot of other things that happened in the bank, I resigned. But when I resigned, of course, I'd resigned before asking myself, so what do I want to do? I didn't know the next business to do, that I know I was going to be an entrepreneur. So I started, I combined with my wife. She had a catering outfit then. So I was marketing the catering outfit. She was the one doing all the bakings and the cookings, you know. That I know that's going to be for a short while. Then I said, okay, let me try some supplies. What is it? Stationaries. And I discovered that supplies don't come as easy as I think it was going to come. I just think I need to knock office doors, and then they will say I have to supply, and then they will give me the contract. But it never happened. Then I ended up having a barbing salon. I called it head office. You know, what I was saying was that I was trying a lot of things, and I knew I was not satisfied. You understand? Eventually, I saw a particular type of business some people were doing. I dabbled into it. I got my fingers burnt, you know, and then after I tried to do pure water business, I failed. I tried to be an agent for DSTV. I didn't have the money for it, so I came up with an idea of anytime I get anyone that needs decoder, I had an arrangement with DSTV then. They sell to me at agent's price. Of course, because I didn't have the money to stock, One of those days I got a customer, and then, you know, running around Lagos, at times even on Okada. One of those days, a car cleared me while I was on top of an Okada, and I knew that, okay, this is the end of this business. You know, so I tried a lot of things. And, you know, eventually one of my friends, I got into the business of selling mobile phones when it first came out. That was in the early 80s. I mean, 2001. You know, and then of course I was marketing the phone in the office of one of my friends, and he told me that, oh, they want to have an event, and they are looking for someone that can make award plaques. And I said, award plaques? Oh, I can do that also. You know, and then of course I got they awarded it to me, got somebody that can really do the plaques. I supplied, made my money, paid him his money. You know, I kept on doing that. You know why I'm saying all this is that for anyone that really want to venture, you want to be an entrepreneur.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Hello, Kwayemi. Sorry.
Okay.
All right. You know, so what I'm trying to say in essence is that it's not every time you will know the exact thing that you should go into. But don't be afraid to try many things. In the midst of it, you're going to try many things. You're going to fail. In some of them, you're going to try and succeed just a little. But in the midst of it, if you don't give up, you're going to strike the real gold that you're looking for. You know, in the midst of the whole thing, at the point I felt I should start like an human resources outfit that gives out support staff, drivers, house helps, office assistant, and everything. In the midst of that, when I dabbled into that, anytime I source for a personnel for any of my clients, you know, I always have a silent fear. And the silent fear is that, can I really vouch for this person that I've given to my clients? And once in a while, some of the clients will also ask and say, Mr. Olugbodi, can you vouch for this person that you have given to us? Of course, as a businessman, I will always say, yes, I can vouch. But silently, I always have that fear. What if this person gets to that place and messes up, or maybe steal, or even goes away with the client's vehicle, if he's a driver? You know, it's in the midst of it that what we are doing presently came out. So background check came in along the line that we started verifying some of the people we source we source personnel for. We verify some of the claims made by the personnel. If some of them that has certificate, verify the certificate, the sure of where they say they live, and all those things. So most of the time, where you are going through may not look like the direct. It's not always direct all the time. Background check came out of the recruitment thing. And then suddenly we discovered that this is something that is totally new here in Nigeria. So with time, we just settled for the background check. Since everybody was into recruitment, and we told ourselves, let's leave recruitment for others while we just concentrate on the background check, and we can assist recruitment agencies and organizations to verify the people they recruit for others. So that's how we got here. Through many falling and rising, we found ourselves doing this.
One of the things you've said, you can see how attentive I am, because one of the things you said that actually struck me is that if you try many things, when you're not afraid to try out many things, eventually you are going to strike the real good. And that is quite profound. That is very, very profound. Now, somebody said I should ask you that your academic background and what you do currently, is there any correlation between the two?
Yes, there's some level of correlation. I actually studied demography and social statistics in Obafemi Awolowo University. Of course, great. Demography and social statistics is all about how do you gather data, how do you collate, how do you analyze, and everything. And what we do in background check is all about gathering data. If you want to employ someone and you want to be sure of his true identity, and you give us the person's resume, what we do is go around maybe the institution where the person actually attended, or places where he had worked in the past. So what I studied in university, it's what I adapted to what we are doing presently. You understand? So even though it was not looking like, at first, it never crossed my mind that I was applying what I studied in the university, because the idea came as a standalone. But now it's not that I just know that, oh, there was that correlation in what I studied in the university and the activities I did when I was with national population, and then what I'm doing now.
Okay, sir. So I know that I'll get to the part where we'll talk about your book. For those that don't know, Mr. Kola is an author also. He wrote the book Through It All, and the book actually encompasses every of his experiences, what he has been through, the rise and fall of Kola Olugbodi. That's what's in that book. But I would like to ask again that, at what point will you say, oh, Kola, this is the turning point for you? This is the point where everything changed, in business especially?
Well, if you ask me that, then you would want me to bring in the God factor in my life. The truth of the matter is that I told you a lot of the things that I tried. I'll try this and I'll fall. I'll try that and I will fall. That was when I was so much depending on my own wisdom, on those things that I think I can do by myself. The turning point, to be sincere, Okoyemi, came in 2021, January 2021 to be precise, where everybody was saying Happy New Year and everybody seemed to know what their New Year goals and everything were.
2021 or 2001?
Sorry, 2001. Sorry. Okay. I'm already living in the future. 2001, sorry. 2001. When everybody was saying Happy New Year, everybody was setting goals and everything. As at that point, I was neck deep in debt. In fact, one of the things that was making me to run from one venture to the other was that I was looking for a venture that would be able to bail me out of the debt. One of the businesses I ventured into got a lot of monies from people, and before I knew it, the business went under and I was neck deep in debt. So it was the debt I was trying to offset that was making me go from the pure water to many other things, But I discovered that the more I was struggling to do one thing or the other, the more nothing was working out. So in the year 2001, that January, I decided to pray. And I told God, and I said, God, I'm not running helter-skelter again. Please bail me out. And that January 1, God just led me to the Bible, Isaiah chapter 41, from verse 10. And he said, fear not, I will help you. Don't be dismayed, I will strengthen you. I will uphold you with my right hand of righteousness. And the scripture went on to verse 15. And verse 15 said, I will make you into a new sharp threshing instrument with teeth. You will thresh mountains, you will thresh the hills, and you will beat them small. You know, when I got to that verse 15, that was when I stopped and I said, God, what are you trying to tell me? And I perceived the Spirit of God telling me, saying that I'm going to do something entirely new through you. I'm going to start a venture entirely new through you in Nigeria. Nobody is doing it at the moment. And he went on to say that the mountains are the hills, are the caliber and the category of the clients you are going to be servicing. And at the point, you know, reading, trying to expand more on that, it told me that foreigners will rebuild my walls. The sons of strangers will feed my flocks. So he told me that the mountains are the hills are going to be multinationals, they are going to be international organizations that are going to be patronizing me. So you see, when the idea of the background check, of course, the question I started asking God was that, so God, what is new? What is new? And it was around that time that the GSM came. That was 2001. And I just told myself, oh, this is new. That was when I ventured into it. It was along the line that I felt, no, this is not what God is saying I should join. Then along the line came the background check business that I'm still doing now. So to answer your question directly, the turning point came when God decided to show up. And you see, the amazing thing is that even up till now, almost like 70% of the clients we service are still foreigners and multinationals. Just like he said that foreigners are going to build our walls. We're going to be servicing the mountains and the hills. You know, so if you ask me what has caused the turning point, it's been God and the God factor in my life. You know, and that's why if you check everything I do, you'll never see me try to cover up the God that has brought me this far, because he has really brought a lot of change in my life.
That's really amazing. That's very, very amazing. Of course, some people don't factor that into their success story, thinking that it's all by their effort. That's very amazing and very honest of you, sir. Thank you very much for enlightening us on that. So, was there any time relationship with people played a key role in securing clients both locally and abroad in your business?
You know, one thing that we have enjoyed so much in BCI has been referrals. It has been primarily by referrals. The first client we got introduced us to the next one, and then the next one introduced us to the next one. So we have really enjoyed so much of relationship with people. You understand? And you see, you can't do away. One of the things we should all work so much on or at is our relationship with people. You understand? Maybe the only thing, other thing that I would add to it is that somehow, I don't know, maybe it's because of the God involvement in what I do in life. But anytime that I try to say, please, who knows this person that knows this person, and somebody wants to take the glory of how we got to an organization, most times we don't get into that organization. I don't know whether you got me. So, I understand. Almost everywhere we had gotten to, it has been God himself opening the doors, and then, of course, through referrals. Because people ask me, most of the organizations we work for, how did you get here? How did you get here? How did you get here? And it's really been by God. So what I'm trying to say in essence, I've had people say it over and over again. If you don't have connection in Nigeria or anywhere in the world, you can't get things done. I think the main connection that I think is so key is your connection with your maker. It will make doors open. And I'm saying that from experience. I'm not preaching at you. That's what I've enjoyed in my life thus far. And it has not
So
stopped.
I want you to tell us a story. I know the
Okay.
story, but for the sake of people that are watching, how you got your first client? That's a very interesting story. How did you get your first client?
All right. You know, when the idea was coming to me, I didn't have enough money. That the money I made from the plaque business, it was enough to register the complaint and to also register the complaint. And then, of course, I did letterhead. But I didn't have enough money to buy even a laptop. Nothing. So what I did was that I approached one of my cousins. He had a desktop, and I said, or can I start using your desktop to really generate my proposal? And of course, he obliged. So my first office was my cousin's sitting room, Coyote. And so I used his desktop. I used his printer to print out my first set of proposals. Of course, I was the only staff. Thank God I could drive. So after I've done the proposals, then I'm going to be the driver or the dispatch rider that went around Victoria Island and everywhere to drop the proposals, you know. And interestingly, one of the organizations that I dropped proposal with gave me a call. I need to tell you, those times I was the secretary, I was the receptionist, I was the driver, I was the business development manager, I was the CEO. You know, I had a multi-link phone then, those mobile, the landline that are also mobile. So my car was my other office. You know, at times I would just get calls while I'm in the car, and they'll say, "Is that BCI?" You know, since I was the only staff, and I wanted to create a whatever that I'm not the only one. So anytime the phone rings, I'll say, "This is Alex." Of course, my name is Alexander Kola Olugbodi. I'll say, "This is Alex." I mean, how do I start? This is BCI. Alex is my name. Is there any way we can be of help to you? And they will say, "Can we speak to your CEO, Mr. Kola Olugbodi?" And I say, "Hold on." And then the next voice you're going to hear is going to be Kola Olugbodi, and say, "This is Kola Olugbodi." And then that was how we got the call and say, "We got your proposal. Can you come over to our office so time, make presentation?" Of course, it was a multinational, and I knew if I was going to go, I can't go there as a one-man riot squad and tell them I am BCI. They say, "Are you BCI? How can one man be?" All right. So in that first meeting, I had to tell that my cousin, I said, "Kayode, you are following me to this meeting." I told my younger sister of blessed memory, Ramoke, I said, "You're following me to this meeting." I told one of my younger brother's wife, Lide. So the four of us went for that presentation. And I told them, if they ask general questions, you're also brilliant. Anybody can answer. When they ask background check questions and technical questions, just let me alone answer. And so that was how we went for the presentation. And to the glory of God, we all did so exceptionally well. And that was how we got our first job. Wow. And of course, before then, you know, I've been telling people this is the idea of what I want to do, trying to get people buy in, and then just to be sure this venture is going to work in Nigeria. And a lot of people that I met, they told me that, no, things like this can't work in Nigeria. So getting that first job, our first brief, to me was like a major breakthrough, you know, and not long after that, then the second job came in. And I think it was when we got to the third job that it dawned on me that, yes, this business is for real. And of course, by that time, we were just two. Then it was just myself and one of my younger brothers that became the second staff. You know, it was, I think, when the third or the fourth client came in. By that time, I'd spoken to one of my elder brother's friends that had an office in Ikeja. I said, can I make use just of a space in your office? And he obliged me. So it's not something I paid for. They were into outdoor advertising. So they come in the morning, go out majority of the day. So when they go out, I come in, and the jobs were coming in. You understand? It was not until after, yeah, maybe 2005, that for the first time I were able to really make people, I mean, people that show the interest, they became financiers of the business, they became shareholders. That was when we properly structured, got our first office, and then got the first real legitimate 5 staff. And then, of course, now we have like close to like 100, you know, but I was the first and everything. Of course, the wisdom in that is that we should learn to start small. You understand? Despising all the days of little beginning. I hear people trying to start and they want to start big. If it's something you have not tried before, don't think of starting big. Start small and let it grow organically. If you start big, what guarantee do you have that that business is going to thrive? Do you know whether you're going to really make it in it? So that's the wisdom of starting small. Even if you have the money to start big, please start from a very lean, experimental level and then build it up. So that's the story of how we got our first job.
Very interesting story. Very interesting story. When you said this story at the Excellence Leadership Conference that I watched, I was blown away. I was blown away. The way you managed, you know, to get the first job, the driver at the same time as the secretary, the CEO. I mean, I can just imagine. And this was way back early 2000 when internet has not blown up the way it has. So it must have been really, really tough. It must have been tough.
It was really tough. It was tough. And you know, that's where I know that's a point many people always turn away and say, no, this thing is not going to work. You know, anything you're going to do in life, if it's going to thrive, if it's going to really become something worthwhile, you have to just persist. Of course, you need to believe in what you are doing. I believed in what I was doing. And even when everybody was saying this is not going to work, I stayed at it. I persisted. And thank God it's working now.
Okay, so I know I've taken much of your time, but I have just 3 questions for you. Please indulge me. Just 3 questions. So the first question is, if you can go back in time, what will you change?
What will I change? Well, maybe the only thing I would have changed, sincerely speaking, maybe it took me like 7 years from the time I resigned from the bank to the time that I started, I got God tell me about starting a new venture that would be the first of its kind in Nigeria. That was like a space of 7 years.
Wow.
I was doing a lot of trial and error. So if I could really change anything, maybe for the 7 years I was trying to really do anything and everything based on my strength and my energy, my wisdom. Maybe if I've asked God early enough, what he told me in 2001, maybe you would have told me same thing the year 1995 or 96 or thereabout. You know, so that maybe that's what I would have changed. But of course, now that I'm even saying it, I discovered that it's even not a mistake. Because if I didn't go through that, that period, I would have thought that it's so easy to venture into anything and to excel in those things. You understand? So that's why I believe that all things work together for good. Even going through all those hard time, hardship, time of hunger, time of everything, it's all about learning the curves. And the truth is, I will never make such mistake again. Yeah, maybe another thing that I would have changed was that some of the things I dabbled into were things that I just wanted money. I wanted something that could take care of immediate need. So I saw people doing this type of a business and I jumped into it. I only knew that the beginning. I didn't know what was going to happen in the middle. I didn't know what was going to happen at the end. And that's the reason why I failed in some of those ventures. I will never try that again. Anything I'm going to do, I'm going to count the cost. I'm going to be sure I've learned the rope of the venture. I know what to start. I know the challenges I'm going to face. I know where those things are going to be rough. So I know whether I want to move on or I just want to stay away. You understand? So yes, I won't be a fool again. Just jumping at what you don't understand. Only a fool will jump at what he doesn't understand and he will think that it's going to work. There are principles. This world and many things are guided by principles. You follow the principle, it's going to work for you. You break the principle, it's going to hurt you. So, I mean, that's why people now feel I'm so slow in taking some decisions. If I've not got my fingers burnt in the past, any idea that comes, I would have rushed into it now. But now, no, I no more do such things.
Funny enough, I was speaking with a friend this afternoon, and you see, this slow to action that many leaders exhibit, I really think that it is something young people need to observe carefully and learn from. Many people think that when you are slow to act, it is an indication of fear, but they don't understand that is wisdom and experience at work.
Well, I think some of this comes with two things. Number one, maybe with age, and then number two, with experience.
True.
You understand? If you have never fallen before, you always think that, oh, what is happening? When we put our money there like this, and then we sell 1,000 copies of this, then we make 2 million will be waiting for us here. Like Yorubas will say, it's very easy to use your mouth to cook and not do roll for. You understand? It doesn't work like that in business. It doesn't work. So that's if some of us have not gotten our fingers burnt, we would not have learned that no, it's not the way. It's not about jumping at. You know what? One of my younger brothers was going to start his business, because of what I'd gone through, he had money to start big. I said, no, don't start big. In fact, you don't need a office. He said, no, I need the office. I need a, then he started big because he had the money to start big. And of course, nothing happened in that office because the people that he was going to get as clients would rather say, come over to our place than come over to his place. You understand? So at the end of the day, the fund they are spent should not have been spent along that line. I could only advise him that way because of my experience.
The experience,
But
yes.
now it has become, he has experienced it, seeing money go down the drain, trying to renovate, trying to put aesthetics and whatever to an office where nobody was going to come to.
Wisdom.
So why should I waste such funds? So the money
sir.
that yeah.
So because of time, I think we are just 15 minutes to the end of the time allowed by Instagram. So 2 questions in one.
Okay.
What inspired you to write that book, Through It All? And secondly, your advice for the younger generation.
All right. What made me to write Through It All? You know, Through It All is a book about all the woes that I've fallen into in life, and then some of the wins. Of course, some of my first woe, my first biggest woe was when I had polio around age 2. That affected, of course, my growing up years, affected how other children related with me, how I related with other children, affected the school I had to go to, affected a lot of things. And then, of course, growing up, many other things happened, choosing a career, and then choosing a life partner, knowing the next thing to do. So all the things I've been through in life, and incidentally, some other people are also going through those things I've been through in life. In some of them, I excelled. Like in disability, by His grace, I've lived with paralysis on my left leg for 53 years.
Wow.
And by His grace, I am who I am today. I taught myself how to drive against all odds. I am married, even though I know it's always difficult for people with disability to get married. After I got married, I had problem with fertility, and medicine says I was not going to have a child in life.
Wow.
But against all odds, after 14 years, we had our 2 children.
14. Wow.
You understand? Finding myself where I feel I'm not supposed to walk. And then I had the feeling that it's time for me to leave the bank. That I was asking myself, I don't want to leave known for unknown, until a fraud happened and it all came on my head in the bank, and God delivered me. Then I learned that at times you may need to leave known for unknown, so that some unknown incidents will not send you where you don't want to go in life. Now, so I just feel that, and then of course, you know, that there is a scripture that comes to me, 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verses 3 and 4. It says, "Thanks be to God, the Father of comfort. It comforts us in our troubles, so that we also can comfort others, going through those same troubles with the comfort we received when we were going through them." So I wrote Through It All to comfort people going through the things I've been through in life. Whether you are going through, you have disability, I need to comfort and encourage you and let you know disability is not the end of this life.
Exactly.
You can make it. Whether you are blind or you have hearing impairment or physical whatever, regardless of that disability, you are in this world for a purpose. And if you don't limit yourself, you can be great in life. I want to tell people that they have told that you can never have children, to know that there's something called faith. To let them know that without faith, you cannot please, without faith, you can't please God. with faith, you will please God and you will get anything from God. Because it was faith that gave us 2 children in 14 years when medicine says actually had 0 sperm count. You understand? So it's not even low. It was 0. And they said, sorry, it's helpless. It can't even be built again. You understand? So if I got it, is it because I'm a genius or something? No. If I'm somebody's person, maybe I won't have this ability. So if after what medicine says I still have children, it can happen to just any other person also, if you believe the way I believed. So that's why I wrote through it all, to encourage people, to tell people this is not the end of your life.
This is very, very
Of course,
powerful.
7 years of my life and that of my wife, nothing was happening. Business failed. We didn't have children. We have to move from a big house to a friend's boys' quarters, finding it difficult to eat. No money, no job. I was in debt. Everything was happening to us at the same time. And then for God to now come and take us out of that ditch, that miry clay, and now stamp us upon the rock. And this same me, God now using me to start an entirely new industry across Africa. So I feel I owe my generation and the generation to come. I owe them this encouragement, telling them, sincerely speaking, nobody should be written off in life. You
I think you've answered the 2 questions at the same time already. So thank you very much for your time, sir. Thank you so much for your time. My very good friend here says very inspiring. Faith, patience, doggedness. I mean, I can't exhaust you. This is experience from over 20 years combined. There's no way I can exhaust you in 1 hour. I'm very sure if I have more questions, you will do justice to those questions. I thought I've heard it all from your videos, from the conferences you've gone to, but trust me, listening to you firsthand, I mean, it feels different. It feels entirely different. And I bless God that you responded to my message. I bless God. We want part 2. Somebody says we want part 2. You will pay.
Anytime you want me to come over, you'll be here for me.
Thank you so much, sir. So I'm actually planning to take this platform into a physical conference, maybe once a year, where youth can gather, and I will invite people like you to come and speak to us in large number. Hopefully, God will give me the grace and the resources to finance it. So I think that will be the part 2 my friend is asking for. So thank you very much, sir, and my regards to your family, your children. Mommy has been with us all along. Thank you so much, ma. Thank you for giving us daddy today. Thank you so much, and I pray that everything you are doing, sir, will continue to blossom by God's grace. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, Opayemi. I don't take this for granted. Anytime I have opportunity to share my story, I think I owe people that story. It's not for me again, it's for others.
So thank you so much, sir. And guys, thank you for joining in. This means a lot. This means a lot to me. Thank you all for coming. May God bless you and have a good evening. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you, Ope. God bless you.
Right. Yes, sir.
All right, bye.